My name is Lisa Machado. I'm the founder of the Canadian CML Network, and I have chronic myeloid leukemia. I had a funny bruise that was on my forearm, and it had been there for quite some time, and my doctor suggested that I go get a blood test taken. And I did, and 12 hours later on that day, I found out that I had leukemia. So I remember when the doctor said that she was pretty sure that I had leukemia, and all I could think of was my kids at home. I thought that maybe I would die and leave them without a mom. And I remember being in the examination room and the lights feeling so they were blinding, and I actually couldn't breathe. And driving home that night, the sky was the blackest that I had ever seen it, and I spent that entire night awake, walking in between my babies' rooms and lying with them and listening to them breathe and smelling their hair and just wondering, you know, what the next thing was going to be. So when I was diagnosed, the diagnosis of leukemia changed everything for me. From all the patients that I've met, we all share a few things in common. So first thing is, once you're diagnosed with cancer, you lose faith in your health. So there's that. There's quite a significant grieving process that happens where you realize that your old life is gone forever, and faith in your mortality is gone forever, and your concept of what it means to be healthy also changes. And so there is a period of where you're unstable, where you're feeling like you're not grounded, and part of that is living with the uncertainty. So, you know, we're on medication, and that's great, and we're so fortunate, and I'm very grateful that there's medication that treats my disease. At the same time, I don't know what the future holds. So in that first meeting with my oncologist, he went through what CML was and what it meant for my life, and I was very fortunate because CML is treated with a daily medication. Immuno-oncology basically harnesses the power of the immune system to fight cancer. When I was diagnosed, I was put on a daily medication to manage my CML. I think that there are three things that anyone who's been diagnosed with a serious chronic illness needs to do. First thing is to find a healthcare professional who you can trust, and someone who understands, makes an effort to understand how you're feeling, is willing to communicate and have a good relationship with you. I think the second thing that is really important is to have someone in your life who can call at 3 a.m. when you're really feeling worried and anxious. And the third thing is to find your community. I think that it's extremely difficult to move forward through a diagnosis without having people around you who share your experiences. If there was one thing that I want people to take from this story is that they're not alone. So if they're facing a really scary diagnosis, just know that there are a lot of people out there who are living with uncertainty and diseases that really scare them half to death. And just, you need to find those people and have a conversation and sit down and have a coffee, and I promise it'll make you feel better. I'm really grateful for innovative medicines and for all the research that has happened for me to be able to be here today. I think that if this had been 20 years ago, I probably would not be here, and I wouldn't have been able to be a mom to my kids and basically be alive. With all of that, and I'm super grateful for everything, and I'm grateful for all the doctors who spend so much time, you know, trying to figure out what makes cancer tick. But I think the work's not done yet. It's not over. I think that we need a cure, not just for CML, but just for cancer in general. So I often think back to those days after my diagnosis and how terrified I was. And I remember going to my kids' Christmas recitals at school and thinking that I wouldn't be there for the next Christmas recital. And now I don't really think that all that much, although it still pops into my mind sometimes. I feel that I have gained a sense of joy that I didn't have before, and a really kind of cool perspective on life and really enjoying the little things. You know, it's a real cliche for people, you know, when people say, you know, live every moment as if you're dying. And I actually think that that's not true, because I don't do that, but I do really take time to you know, just appreciate how lucky I am to still be standing when there was actually a time when there was a chance that I wouldn't be here today.